Hey everybody, in today's video we're going to be talking about 4 ways to build your VO2 max. So prior to jumping into the 4 ways to build your VO2 max, I do want to answer the question, what is a VO2 max? Why does it matter, right? So simply put, your VO2 max is your body's maximum oxygen intake for your body's muscles. It's a reflection of your aerobic endurance fitness. And so it's really important if you're looking to run farther and to run faster. This is kind of the key foundation, the data point that you want to develop and build, right? And so your VO2 max is a reflection of how efficiently can your body use oxygen to run, right? And so if you look at pro distance runners, their VO2 max is really high because they can run really far and really fast. And so anybody, whether you're just starting running or you're an elite distance runner at the high school or college or post-collegiate level, it's so important to look at the VO2 max and to consider it in your training plan. How can I develop a VO2 max, right? So that's just what your VO2 max is. Now let's dive in. The first way to build your VO2 max is to incorporate anaerobic training in your weekly training regimen. This is typically 1 to 2 days a week of an 80 to 90% maximum heart rate run. This could take the form of HIIT training, of interval training, of hill repeats, of even like a tempo run, right? And so at 80 to 90% of your maximum heart rate, over maybe it's 15 to 25 minutes of total running at this effort, you're forcing your body to adapt to higher amounts of oxygen intake. So as you have to run, maybe it's a tempo run for 25 minutes at a 90% heart rate, or maybe it's a 4x4, which is an interval training, which you run 4 minutes hard, 4 minutes easy, 4 times through. So 16 minutes of hard, 16 minutes of easy. This could be hill sprints of a 90-second hill, and then you're walking or jogging down. So multiple different forms. Really, it's forcing your body to adapt higher amounts of oxygen, which ultimately will build adaptation. And so number 1, anaerobic training. Number 2 is the long run. The long run is so important to have in your weekly training block. Usually should take up about 20 to 30% of your weekly mileage. And usually always exceeds 60 to 70, 80 minutes, right? So most long runs are 90 to 120 minutes, which is 2 hours. And in this time, you're forcing your body to use oxygen more effectively because you're going past that 60-minute barrier where you're burning a lot of energy, and you're forcing your body to build and enhance capillaries in your body to produce stronger mitochondrial density and function, and ultimately ATP. And so long run's so important. Personally, I like to do a harder long run with 1 anaerobic training day each week. If you include multiple anaerobic training days, typically people do a slower long run, the LSD, long slow distance, or a longer, harder long run is another way to put maybe your body in an anaerobic state for a little bit. And so number 2, the long run, so important to increase VO2 max. Number 3 is strength training. This is kind of an indirect way of increasing your VO2 max for a couple of reasons. 1, as you increase your muscle fiber strength, you're delaying fatigue in your body, so long as you're including obviously consistent endurance exercise in your training plan. And also, along with delaying fatigue, you're also increasing the ceiling by which your body hits a lactate. So lactate is that feeling where you're on your last rep of bench press or squats, or you're at 320 meters of a 400-meter race and your legs feel like they're gonna burn off. That's your body's hitting lactic acid, right? So typically your body could hit lactate and maybe towards the very end of a race, or maybe at the end of a hard workout, maybe those last few minutes or that last rep, you're gonna hit lactate. And so as you build strength in your muscles, you're increasing the ceiling by which your body hits lactate at a slower level. So personally, as I look at my PRs in college, I was doing strength training the most diligently, and I was taking it the most seriously. That's where I felt like on the track and on the cross country course, I just felt stronger. I felt like I could push harder at a higher level and not reach that burning sensation where I had to back off because I knew I had another mile or another 2 or 3 miles. So number 3, strength training. It's really important. Lastly, most practically, number 4 is consistency. So Stan Efferding, he's a world record power lifter. He has this phrase, compliance is the science. In other words, consistency breeds results. And so I look back on my running career in college and high school and even running post-collegiately, and I just have learned consistency matters so much. It's so much better to have a lot of B+ days when it comes to nutrition and training than to constantly ride the roller coaster of an A+ training day and then getting injured or getting, so fatigued that you feel like you can't go work out the next day or go train. Same thing with nutrition. If you make it so complicated and strict that you can't go out at all, you can't enjoy yourself with friends or anything like that, or you're traveling and you're screwed because you don't have your typically, your environment that you're so used to. And so compliance is the science. Finding what anaerobic workouts do you like? Maybe it's the 4x4, maybe it's hill repeats, maybe it is a tempo run, running 20 to 30 minutes at a harder effort. For the long run, what works better? Do you like running really slow, long time, chilling? Or do you like doing less anaerobic work in the week and doing a harder long run so you can include some higher heart rate in there? And so same thing goes for all kinds of VO2 max training. It's so important. Strength training, anaerobic training, long distance training. Find what you enjoy. Sustainability matters. And think about the long haul of improving your VO2 max. It won't happen next week. It probably won't happen next month. You might see the slow indicator of, an increasing VO2 max, but VO2 max increases over years, months and years, right? So don't be discouraged just because it takes a long time. It is really rewarding to work hard consistently day in, day out over months and years and see that VO2 max increase. So I hope today's video was helpful to you guys. Simple 3 reasons, with that 4th being practical consistency. So all things VO2 max in today's video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.